Alright, everybody, welcome back to the Craftverse series, episode 394, and I think it's time to show you the updates to the Nether Hub. The last time I took you guys through here, we had just installed the new pathways. They've been upgraded significantly, and now it's starting to look like an actual Nether Hub. And not just, a giant empty wasteland of smooth stone slabs. Don't get me wrong, those are still there. But let me show you what's become of it. Immediately, you'll notice there's walls, and the floor has been swapped out. It now looks very bright, very easy to see everything. It's lit up underneath every one of these slabs. There is the original sea lantern base. I have corridors, and I've shifted all of the portals into the wall structure so they're out of the way. I can fly around here as much as I need to, block off certain areas if I need to bring something to it, like a donkey or a villager or something like that. I wouldn't dare bring a pillager. That down there is the new portal off by the 40-bed iron farm. So it's easy to tell where you are from there. In here, you can see I have wrapped around one of these roads. So I have a little section inside that I can do a little duping with, which is how I got all of this sulfur. Because I could not, for the life of me, get all of this sulfur from the original biome. And unfortunately, they broke my mega duper. They specifically targeted dupers that have chunk-based duplication systems, and they've successfully shut it down. It doesn't work. Absolutely nothing duplicates. I've tried it on this realm. I've tried it on the Awkward Kingdom. Spoiler alert. I started doing that there. Yeah. You're not going to see that for a little while, unfortunately. But yeah, they broke it. So, no more mega duping. So, I had to do all of this in waves. And you can imagine my inventory looking a little something like this. An entire top row of bricks, an entire bottom row of polished, brick, polished, chiseled, just to put these together. And I am happy with how it's turned out so far. Let me give you an external view. By coming out here, you can see the original floor is still the way it was, but I have added in a new wall structure to separate everything and make the interior look nice. I have also connected it all the way to the Warden Tower, which is over there. We're going to go inside and I'll show you where everything connects. But first I need to go scoop up some more rockets. And luckily enough, I have access to an ender chest. It's kind of tucked in the bottom, but it is there nonetheless. I am going to just grab that because I'm ultimately going to need that, and I guess I can keep these on me, it's fine. So let's go for a bit of a flight, shall we? We're going to start from here, which is right next to the Visage portal, and the Nether Tower portal. I also went back through and did most of the labeling. This one apparently did not get a label. This one is the sword portal, over there is Time Runner's house, and this is the one that I made for death on the island. We can come all the way down here, and we have another intersection that leads all the way down to the raid farm, and then we have this one over here that goes up to the Warden portal. It loops around here. And I'm thinking this is something I might institute for each of the portals, is if there is room, have a little overhang of the original staircase and pop one of the ender chests down there because there's a lot of flying. I also got to remember to ink that up. We can come all the way down here, which luckily did not require too much digging out because this was the original hallway that I blasted out for my netherite. So, win-win there. Gets to keep it for some historic significance. But if we come down this way, it meets up with the mangrove tower portal, which also needs to get the ink on it. Coming all the way down here, which is quite a significant flight, but is entirely safe to fly because of all of these buttons and walls and lights, slabs. Everything is absolutely safe to fly through. I've also tucked our new sulfur biome portal over here into the wall, so I'm not going to have to fly through it, which is especially convenient for the event that I make a download of this and put it in creative, so I can continue designing and building things. I am going to be doing the ceilings as well. Ow. Have not got to that point yet. I wanted to show you guys the updated design. I just finished putting in the last of these wall blocks. This over here connects to the stronghold, I believe. Yes, this is the stronghold, and actually that's what connects from the intersection between here and the warden portal. If I come down this way, ow, I can make it to the one that has the raid farm. And I have re-signed and organized all of these so they're mostly labeled. Obviously there was one or two that I missed. I ran out of signs because I didn't actually put signs on every portal originally when I placed it. And then of course I've left room to continue this out as I need more portals. This is the Time Runner one. It kind of has its own little wall. And then if you round the corner, we have the Armory. I've also shifted the Guardian Farm one over. This is my house. This is the Jungle Tower. And if we come all the way down this way, you won't even see the giant portal that was standing right here because it's now nestled in the wall. This is the Guardian Farm one. And if we come over here, you'll see we have another exit point behind the surface access to back here where I may add another portal thing out here. I'm not sure if I have another portal out this way. I do not. Okay. So this wasn't necessary to have regardless. I decided just widening this out the way I have been is just excessive, obnoxious, and unnecessary, but I won't be covering these over with all of the additional netherrack and stuff because I did take the time to remove it. So this is going to be convenient for future pathing. This leads all the way down to the ice boat road that I installed. And if I feel the urge to put buttons along all this wall, I might remove this at some point. I doubt it, because this is actually lights underneath it. But the lights don't function like ice, so I would have to have some type of light in here or hang it from the ceiling, and that's just too much. I think I'm just going to leave it like this. Because this is just going to be going out to the other farm as well. Although, what I should probably consider is leaving some access to this. So, we have access to the chest now. Actually, Pop that out. Pop that out. That right there. Then we want to grab another one of these and put it right here. And now we have access to that. Okay, so we have access to an ender chest on both sides of this wall, so this is fine. We can close this up now. Then we can put that back. And now our wall is good, and we have access to the storage for both of these. I think for safety's sake, though, since I don't have buttons, I'm just going to do that. That way nothing spawns there. And we can still access it just fine. Very good. So I am happy with how this turned out. Ow. Of course you can still fly and smash your face in, but there are a lot of really long passageways out here. There is still full access to our piglin farm, and access to the surface by this as well. I haven't decided how I'm going to beautify that, if at all. I might just leave that alone, because the Nether hub itself is the concern here at the moment. And I think I've done a pretty good job at getting this situated. Now that you've taken the full tour of the Nether hub, what do you think? Let me know in the comments. Would you have used a different block palette? Would you have changed the buttons for something else? What would you have done? Let me know in the comments and I will check it out. Also, speaking of the comments, I'm probably going to be roasted for a decision I made. You might have noticed, if you follow my Twitter, which I will never be calling X because that is a drug, that I have stopped using the website entirely. I made my last post earlier in the week and decided to delete it from my phone. I am not going to be checking the channel Twitter account at any point, so whatever you share there, I'm just not going to see it. But I'm not deleting it myself, so no one can take the channel name as IP. Because if you're already following me, you'll know that's me. So, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and just drop Twitter entirely for personal reasons, as well as the fact that I wasn't being as productive as I could have been. I wasn't getting as much sleep as I needed in order to be productive, because I was spending way too much time scrolling through Twitter and getting very, very angry. Because the state of the world right now is just shit. It just is. That's why I make content, right? To give people an escape from the shit, so we can all just have some fun, do some Minecrafty nonsense, share our build designs and so forth. But the fact of the matter is, the world is just falling apart right now. Twitter is not helping. It's just not. So I decided to leave. I will still be posting on YouTube for as long as I can, but I'm also migrating my library over to Patreon in case anything does happen to the tube of views. So we have up to 320 episodes of this series right now available on Patreon. 100-hour per month limit is what Patreon puts on uploading videos. So I have to wait until July to continue uploading. But once I get to July, I will be able to add the rest of this series that I currently have. And hopefully start downloading and re-uploading some of the other cool series that I value from my YouTube over to Patreon. And for those who haven't seen yet, I have started doing a pre-record release on schedule thing for my videos, and whatever the scheduled date is on YouTube, Patreon subscribers that support the channel with $1, $5, or $10 subscriptions will get access to every video I post a week early. Yeah, There might also be some Patreon specific videos that are only for higher tier subs. We'll see. I haven't decided what I'm going to do on that front yet, but for right now, that's just where it is. Waiting until July, and then I can finish the rest of my migration. And then everything that I upload will be uploaded to both platforms at the same time and just scheduled out for the appropriate shift in time. So yeah, that is what we've got going on for the channel updates. And we are nearing episode 400. Did anybody ever think we would get to 400? It feels like it hasn't been 2 years yet. I know I streamed before I started making the video format of this series, but for the life of me, it does not feel like it's been 2 years since I started just uploading videos. The first episode of this series, Return of Craftverse, was July of 2024. I know. I checked. And I swear, every time I come outside in one of these videos, it is raining. I don't know why. Maybe it's an omen. And that build took forever. Anyway. At some point, we'll go through in a world tour of sorts. But for right now, you guys are just going to have to settle with a world download after episode 400. Because once I get to the big 400, I want to make a copy of the world available for everybody in case I don't end up continuing with the series. I'm not entirely sure what life's going to hold in the next few months, but things seem to be going a little bit crazy at home. And I'm going to be totally honest with you, I don't know if I have time to dedicate 2 hours out of every single day to try and record content to keep up with. No, it stopped raining. Just 4 days every week getting a new episode. It, believe it or not, it does take actual time between episodes to make enough content in an episode for you to make it worth watching. So this is more just a PSA of you will get a world download at some point. I am going to continue making content at least until episode 400, and after 400 we will have to figure out what's going to happen moving forward. But for right now, you're not getting rid of me just yet. I may have some IRL nonsense that gets in the way. I may have some unfinished projects. But that's what this set of videos is meant to do, is finish up some of the unfinished. Try and give you guys something cool to download when you do. And all of my world downloads will be available on Patreon for $5 and $10 subscribers. So if you would like a copy of Craftverse, the support would definitely be appreciated, but also, in this particular instance, required. Yeah. Generally, you're not required to support the channel financially, and I would not demand that anybody ever did. But if you do support it, you will get access to the world download for this, Season 1 and 2 of the Awkward Kingdom, and when that ends as well, Season 3. So you can get your hands on some of the cool build designs and maybe do some explorations of your own. Trying not to do any heavy duplications from previous seasons, just so there's a reason for you to download those. But I'm also trying to expand the community's horizons with newer builds. Or at least builds that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see in your feed or potentially find in the massive libraries that populate YouTube. Unless you're following the creator who originally made it. And of course, throwing my own spin on things because this is just that same house that we passed down there out of dark oak, just made with colorful blocks. Some of them will be one for ones, and some of the things that would be copied over can't be. Oh, dramatic lag. Also, I did figure out what the lag is over here. I do feel like you guys should be in on this. Underneath this segment here of the house, all the way to over that way and beyond, is just a ton of noodle caves. And then beneath that, there's a crap ton of lava sources. So not only do we have the lava sources down there, we also have lava flows in random but large quantities. And the flowing of lava and water, as well as the abundance of firefly bushes, if nothing else, creates a ton of render requirements. And then, of course, you see how many torches we have, which render an animation every time they go off. Yeah. That's why I try to build with things that don't have rendering, like lanterns or sea lanterns. Well, I guess sea lanterns kind of do, but the Nether is actually far less laggy than this section of the overworld. Thank you, Mr. Pig, for your contribution to this conversation. I'll have to show you guys in another episode because 10 minutes is not quite enough to go underneath. Or is it? You know what? I'm going to pause right here, head on to a copy of the world, and show you what I'm talking about. See you in a moment. All right. So we're on a creative copy of the world, and I'm going to show you exactly what I was referring to by all the noodle caves and all of the lava sources. And you'll get a brief sneak peek of what the actual project underneath this area looks like. So let's pop into Spectator, and now I'm just a talking head. Whee! Check out just how massive this area underneath actually is. This is just at 14 render distance. I had it at 20 when the lag started being a nuisance because it was rendering everything that was out there. But you see just how intensely packed this area is with caves. And look at this lava. This is not a shallow pool of lava. This entire hole is lava. And then you have this over here, which is a lava and a water flow. Well, two water flows, three lava flows, four lava flows. And then you have this cave over here, which also has the lava, the water that I have actually come down and cordoned off, so it's a little bit less. And then there's this lava flow that I missed, that one that I missed. Yeah, over here has lights, but it has a lot more lava flowing, which it's a lot. It's annoying and it's a lot. Where is my normal path out of here? It's not through the geode, which I didn't even know was there, to be honest. Yeah, if I come down to the bottom here, you can see I've pretty much dug into this room and started trying to close things off to some extent. I've already dug out this way, trying to find iron, probably. Potentially coal, though I'd more likely iron. But yeah, this whole thing is quite extensively lava. And where is my little room that I'm carving out? Ah, border. Okay, so we have this over here, right? This leads to the visage, and then we come down here and we see some of the area that's been carved out. This is just 1/16 of the space that needs to go. And within the boundaries of this wall, we have quite a bit of lava flow, quite a lot of caves, though it's taking forever to load for some reason. I guess it doesn't like me being on OBS while I'm on creative. But there's some more lava down there. And then I've got all the way over here, another giant pool of lava that I have to carve through. Also part of the lag issue, on each of these beacons, I had an overflow of blocks that were in multiple stacks just hovering in the same space. There was easily 3 full inventories of blocks floating around on top of these just from carving out the hole this sits in. And I just never came by and picked them up. So every time I looked in the direction of one of the beacons, it sent my computer into a frantic seizure trying to figure out what's going on and load everything in. Not to mention all of the cave structures that are down here. Yeah, all this within the pillar of light you see right there by that beacon, up to where it flattens out into the one wide hole for the light pillar. Everything between the 4 corner beacons is gonna go. Which means I'm gonna fix a lot of my lag issues just from that. That in and of itself is not going to be a one episode ordeal. As you can probably figure out, that is going to see the lag right now, and it's just me rotating in place. It's going to take quite a lot of effort to remove all of this, and that's another reason why I'm not quite sure what's going to happen moving forward, because if I spend a lot of time on this, I'm not making new videos, I'm not making new content, and then I get behind again. That's part of the reason I got so behind as it is. Because when I was on the realm, I was trying to dig out the first hole, and then, yeah, I'm just trying to move forward. This is just choppy right now. But you see now what I was referring to by there being a massive lag spike. It wasn't your video, it wasn't YouTube. It was the game. The game was having heart failure. Yeah. I'm also thinking of putting a massive 4 beacon right through the center of my noggin up here. Because this is a 2x2 space, which would be perfect for a beacon. And I see absolutely nothing in the way. So it's just going to be solid blocks from here straight down to the bottom. If there's enough room underneath all of this, I want to do that. Oh, might not be. Okay, there is. It's like 66. And I sit at 55. Yeah, there's room. I'm just being like, dramatic, apparently. Where is the exact center? It appears to be right over those. Okay. So that would throw things for a loop just a little bit. It's right in the middle of my path. Literally, the center is 595 and 6, 725 and 6. So that's easy enough to figure out. But yeah, let's go ahead and pop back into creative so you can see my skin. And that is the updates that I've had to show you today. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully, the next episode won't take forever for me to come up with. I'm sure the days played counter has jumped significantly with me trying to finish up that Nether hub. But I think that is what we've got going on for it. That's pretty much the design I want to go for. It just needs to have a stair wrap all the way around the top, and then the central 3 blocks going all the way down and around changed out, and I'm probably going to go Cinnabar with that. That is the idea currently. Let me know in the comments what you think of that design, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace out, everybody.